Hello, and welcome to this little project where I need to sit down and finish these dang revisions. It is Tuesday, January 28th, and in the next few days, I'm hoping to make and finish these bare minimum self-edits and revisions to draft one of Project Darkwater. Oh, for those of you who've hopped on for the first time in this channel, my name is AJ. I'm an aspiring author and I'm currently working on my fantasy debut. I have not decided if I want to self-publish or traditionally publish, but that is something I will think about maybe in the next few weeks. We'll see. First things first, I need a book. And to get this book, I need to finalize this draft one and proceed with the next steps. So that's what we're gonna do for this week. Again, we're starting Tuesday, January 28th. My goal is to take no longer than, February 1st or February 2nd to send it. I think it's doable, but again, I actually do have to finish drafting a couple of scenes, and then I really want to try to do a read-through. And that's what we're gonna do. And then hopefully, maybe around Friday, I'll be able to do like the quickest read-through. We'll see. Okay, we're just gonna dive right into this. All right. Oh my gosh, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday, January 29th. I am still working through the last chapter. I did get some work done, and I think this morning I'm hoping to finalize a rough draft of some of the rewrites I had to do in this chapter. But I think I'm cautiously optimistic that I'm going to be able to finish that up today, and then I might be able to start a rapid fire review from beginning to end of the draft. If any of you guys have ever run cross country or just have done endurance sports, I feel like I can see the finish line. And that last push of adrenaline, starting to kind of get that runner's high, being able to see the finish line, which is sending the draft to a critique partner. So maybe like a writer's high. It is currently Thursday, January 30th. I think I've made it to 90% fulfillment. That's a weird way to put it. I think I'm about 90% of the way done with the self-edits and the revision for draft one. I did finish that end scene, and I'm not going to think about it too much. I kind of do like what I did with the end of the book. It's something a little different than what it was before, but I'm going to keep it as is and get some feedback on it actually. So I will be sending, again, fingers crossed, I'll be sending this draft to a critique partner by the end of the week. I'm hoping Sunday, but if anything, it'll be early Monday that I send it through. I'm very excited with where my story is right now. There's a couple of things I want to say, but I don't want to say it yet just in case I promise something and I don't fulfill it. Let me give you a little bit of context if you've made it to this part of the vlog. I have been working on finalizing the first round of basic self-edits revisions to my draft one of Project Darkwater, because I will be sending this draft to a critique partner by Sunday or Monday. Still making pretty good progress, still kind of on track with the schedule that I proposed at the beginning of the year. Now, I have been not very consistent in updating you guys through the duration of this vlog. So let me give you just a basic rundown of everything that has happened. I got to the point in my story where I found a bunch of missing pieces. Okay, I guess you can't really find missing pieces, but I found the holes in the puzzle of my story that I realized I needed to fill before I sent them off to my critique partner. And what that meant was that I actually had to draft a bunch of scenes and chapters just to provide some context for everything that's happening. And I had to do this predominantly in the last half of the book. And it's very important to have some of this context going into the story, because I realized that without having some of those missing pieces, so without having enough of the puzzle, it's going to be really hard for someone to see the image it's supposed to make. And sending it to a critique partner when there isn't a clear image probably won't guarantee the best feedback. So anyways, this week I really drafted. I drafted more than I actually revised and edited, because I had to add in those missing parts. Ultimately, I now have about 100,000 words in the manuscript. It has been a wild ride to go from 80,000 to 100,000 in a month, but we got there. Thankfully, February is going to be a not heavy writing month. I will be taking a break because Lord knows I'm going to need it after writing 20,000 words in a month. But on top of everything else, but yes, that is where we are. So I am right now going through a rapid fire review. So I just want to make sure that I didn't miss another chapter, that the image is clear enough when I send it on Sunday or Monday. So yes, so I'm going to take the weekend, go through it, and draft anything that I might need to draft. But most importantly, I'm not going to touch anything that makes sense, even if I don't think it's good. But anyways, I'm not going to touch anything that kind of makes sense, even if it's not the prettiest prose. Just going to add in anything that needs to be added so that I can make sure that the feedback is going to be useful, and that hopefully it's not going to be a difficult process for someone to critique. Okay. What else is there to say? I already have some ideas for how I want to approach draft 2 and some of the changes that I'm thinking of making when I do start to do the second draft of Project Darkwater. But I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I have feedback back, because I think it would be a pretty good learning process and just a bit more helpful to kind of compare what I think and then what a reader, someone who is reading this for the first time, what their thoughts are, in case I either miss something or in case I end up messing things up a little too much that might actually be fine as it is. Okay, thank you all so much for taking this haberdashed journey with me. If you are so inclined, if you would like to support this small, hopefully growing channel, please like and subscribe. Also, let me know how you are faring in your creative journeys. I would love to hear from you guys. And with that, I hope you guys are taking care, staying safe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Happy writing.